Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's hybrid program. My name is Joanna, and I'm the Adult Services Programming Librarian here at the Porter Branch. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce Jessica Glass, and she'll be our presenter today. And then if you're looking for future events, you can come over to librarypoint.org. and search the catalog. You can search activities by changing here to the drop down and seeing all the events that we have. This includes virtual and in person. All right, and then if you have questions, you're more than welcome to ask them. I just ask that you wait until the end of each slide to ask. And if you're joining us virtually, make sure you keep your camera off and then just unmute yourself when you have a question. All right, take it away, Jessica.
All righty, and you guys can see my screen? Perfect. All right, hi everyone, I'm Jessica Glass, like she said. I'm a doctoral student at Pennsylvania Western University in the Health Science program. So today I'm going to be teaching you whole wellness, helping you understand how your mind and body connect so you can all take an active role in feeling your best. So what we'll be covering today are physical or body approaches, some mind approaches, the wellness wheel, and lastly, I'll help you get started on creating a plan that fits into your lifestyle. So here are our objectives. We'll start with what mind and body even mean. Then I'll show you some practical strategies you can use on your own. After that, we'll talk about the wellness wheel, and we'll use it to help you create your own personalized plan. So let's jump right in. So physical or body approaches will include what everybody usually thinks of, physical activity, but we'll also talk about manual therapies and recovery or cool downs after working out. And of course, we can't forget about nutrition because you can exercise all day long, but your body still needs healthy food to sustain the hard work you're about to do, right? So most of us have a general idea of what physical activity is, right? So it's about moving your body to build strength, boost endurance, and help your heart grow healthy. Physical activity can include playing sports, strength training at the gym or at home, and aerobic activities like running or biking around the neighborhood, swimming, or participating in local races. If you regularly participate in any of these activities, you're ahead of the game. If not, then that's where we need to start thinking of what we can do to reap these benefits. So when you have kids or other responsibilities, though, sometimes you have to get a little creative. So such as using phone apps or online workout videos, you can create a mini home workout space or get your kids involved and turn workout time into family playtime. You can do squats while your kids play or have them do the squats with you, depending on their age. The key is finding out what excites you, because when it's fun, you're more than likely to stick with it. So before jumping into any activity, remember to warm up before and cool down after. So a quick warm up tells your body to wake up and get ready to move, while a cool down unwinds your body to relax and recover. Both help prevent injury and keep your muscles feeling their best. So to warm up, try dynamic movements that gently get your body moving. You could do arm and shoulder circles or hip rotations like a hula hoop. When it's time to cool down, you're going to switch to slow, steady movements while holding them for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. You could do hip and chest stretches like you push on a wall or in between a door. These slow movements can also be used before bedtime to help promote quality sleep. Be sure to focus on good form, though, and take deep, steady breaths throughout these movements. If you're just getting started or want to turn these movements into a workout of their own, you could try yoga, Pilates, mobility training, or stabilization exercises. These can be gentle and relaxing for warm-ups, cool downs, or even bedtime routines, or if you want more challenging, this also helps to build strength and improve heart health. So mobility training involves intentionally moving your body through a full range of motion without pain. And this helps improve range of motion, flexibility, joint control, and helps your body move more efficiently. and that helps as we age. It's similar to stretching, but it reduces injury risk, improves posture, and decreases stress and tension. Simple exercise like controlled hip circles, shoulder rolls, or gentle lunges can make a huge difference over time. Stabilization training focuses on strengthening your body's ability to maintain control and balance, especially in your core, joints, and muscles. Think of it as building a strong foundation so your body can move efficiently and safely. It helps prevent injuries, improves posture, enhances coordination, and supports better performance in sports, daily activities, and even other workouts. Exercises like planks, balance drills, and controlled body weight movements are great examples, but really anything that challenges your body to stay steady and controlled counts. And of course, we can't talk about physical activity without talking about nutrition. So nutrition alone could fill its own entire presentation, but today I'm going to stick to the key takeaways. So cutting back on added sugar is a big one. Too much sugar can fuel inflammation, worsen aches and pains, affect behavior and brain function, cause tooth decay, contribute to weight gain, and even increase the risk of chronic diseases. So the easiest way to spot it is by checking the nutrition label. So I'm going to help you here. So let's take a look at the label to the right. So first, you want to check the serving size. This tells you how much the rest of the label is talking about. So for example, this container has 9 servings. So if it's a drink, the numbers are for 1 cup, not the whole bottle. So next, we're going to look for the added sugars. You'll notice that total carbohydrates include both total sugars and added sugars. Some sugars are natural, like the ones we find in sweet potatoes, fruits, vegetables, grains, stuff like that. These are healthy and important for our bodies. For this label, there's only 1 gram of that type of sugar and 12 grams of added sugar, the white, heavily processed kind we want to watch out for. So we all know sweets and treats are sugar bombs, but added sugar also sneaks into foods we might not expect, such as coffee creamers, sports drinks, protein bars, condiments, dairy products, a whole host. A simple way to slowly build this habit into your lifestyle is if you choose items with little or no added sugar, and if you want to add a touch of sweetness, you can add honey or maple syrup. So next, we want to eat more fruits and vegetables. These give our bodies extra nutrients like vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and fiber. And eat the rainbow is what I like to tell my kids. Different colors provide different benefits. So for example, red foods like tomatoes and watermelons support heart health, while orange and yellow foods like carrots and oranges help our eyes, skin, immunity, things like that. Next, we want to increase our water intake, especially with all the activity we're about to start doing, right? Water keeps your blood flowing, nutrients moving, and helps your body get rid of excess waste. And lastly, improving your sleep quality. This allows your body to repair tissues, strengthen your immune system, and enhances your cognitive function and heart health while reducing your risk of chronic diseases. So before I move on to mind approaches, are there any questions?
We have one question.
Okay.
I'll wait till at the end and ask it.
Okay.
Because I'm sure you might touch upon it.
Okay.
But I think we have to be mindful about the sugar that's in vegetables because of how a lot of sugar in vegetables. And like you mentioned, a cup is reasonable.
Yes. So actually the one thing is, so like I said, sugar is actually, I'll even go back, but sugar is actually, your body needs it to give you certain energy for us to be able to get up out of bed, to get up and go do something. We need that sugar. And that's pretty okay unless you're trying to lose weight. You kind of want to minimize it. But the sugar, the added sugar that I'm referring to is like that white, heavy processed sugar.
Okay.
And one thing I actually mentioned to Joanna after we hopped off the last call is the sugar, what it is, you know, sugar comes from sugar cane, sugar beet, something natural, right? But what they do when they commercially process it to the white stuff we see is they strip it of its nutrients and And that's what we don't want. We like the nutrients, but they strip it out, they bleach it, they chemically process it, stuff like that. We want to stay away from that stuff because that actually increases our blood sugar levels. And that's what we want to avoid.
And I always wanted to mention, you were discussing exercise.
Mhm.
When exercising, let's say, I don't, how many days you exercise. Some people exercise every day, some people exercise 5 or 3 days. But if you're doing the same exercises day each time, you should change to give the other muscles an opportunity, to develop the other muscles, and just don't always be working on the same muscles all the time.
Yes, exactly. And that's good because a lot of times when we work the same muscles, we strengthen those a lot more than we need to. And then we're not working out the other muscles. So you end up having an imbalance between your muscles and you're going to start to notice it. A lot of times, we may sit down forever and we strengthen some muscles, but now you'll notice your low back starts hurting because now we have weak muscles in other parts of our bodies. So that's something good to think about.
Thank you.
All right. So when we talk about mind and body, it's all about your thoughts, your feelings, and how your brain and body works together. So it's about noticing what's going on inside you and around you so you can stay calm, focused, and in control. So today we're going to explore mindfulness and other easy techniques that help your mind and your body feel balanced. So there are many strategies when it comes to mind and body approaches. Some are led by professionals like talk therapy, psychotherapy, group therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. There's so many, but there are many you can do on your own. So I've listed a few approaches here. Try them out, see what works for you, and incorporate them as often as you can. So we'll go ahead and go through them. So first, mindfulness. This is about being present and noticing your thoughts. So this can be done while sitting still, meditating, like me sitting here on this beach, or doing everyday activities. Our mind often drift to our to-do list or wander off entirely. Mindfulness is about catching those wandering thoughts and bringing your attention back to the moment. So for example, when you're doing the dishes or folding laundry, really use your senses. So notice the smell of the dish soap or the fresh linens, feel the warm water or the fabric in your hands. Right? The same goes for eating. Smell the food, listen to the crunch, taste every bite. Instead of just going through the motions, be fully present in what you're doing. It might not be the most fun task, but since it has to get done, try using a mindfulness trick while you're doing it. Guided imagery. This one is a little bit different. So instead of focusing on right now, you want to create a mental image that makes you feel calm or happy, still using your senses though. So for example, imagine lying on a sunny beach, hearing the waves, smelling the salty air, feeling the warm sun on your skin. You can do this almost anywhere and it's perfect for a quick mental reset. Breathing exercises. This can also be done with mindfulness and guided imagery, or it can be done alone. So this one involves intentionally focusing on your breath to help relax your body, reduce stress, and even lower blood pressure. So there are many techniques out there, but just a simple one you can do right now is slowly take in a deep breath, hold it for 2 seconds, and slowly exhale all the way out. So if you repeat this for a couple times, you'll notice that you feel a lot less tension. This is something I remind myself to do when my kids are irritating me. Don't tell them that. Or I catch myself just needing a reset. Reflective journaling is another powerful tool that many find to be beneficial for them. It's just simply writing down your thoughts, your feelings, your insights, and it helps you understand yourself. You can reflect on your actions, you can set goals, get swirling thoughts out of your head and onto paper. And then if you're looking for a way to move your body and your mind, you can do activities like yoga, Pilates, and many of the exercises mentioned earlier are all great choices. They challenge your muscles while helping you focus, breathe, and reset. So you're strengthening both your body and your mind at the same time. So the great thing about all of these strategies are they fit into almost anywhere in your day, right? So you can stretch while waiting to cook dinner, practice a few mindful breaks during a long car ride or plane plane rides, or take a quick movement break between tasks. So even a few minutes can help you recharge, refocus, and feel ready for whatever comes next. All right, so the wellness wheel is a visual tool that shows how the different parts of your well-being are all connected and work together to create a balanced lifestyle. So there are many versions that you'll find out there, but most of them include similar components. So this is the one that I choose today. Think of it as a bicycle wheel. So each part of wellness is a spoke that helps keep the wheel strong and rolling smoothly. So if one spoke is ignored or out of balance, the wheel can start to wobble and you'll notice it. The goal isn't perfection, but it's simply keeping the wheel and your life as balanced as possible. So, and don't be worried if this list seems a little long. You'll start to notice that many activities support multiple areas at once. So for example, going for a walk with a friend can support physical because of the walk, social because of the friend, and emotional well-being all at the same time. So let's go ahead and get started. So as we go through each part of the wellness wheel, I want you to take a moment to think about what you're already doing and whether that area of your wheel feels balanced. So first, let's talk about physical wellness. Throughout the beginning of this presentation, physical wellness was at the front and center. So applying what I explained earlier, regular exercise, proper nutrition, and getting enough sleep and hydration is essential for supporting this area. Does anyone have any suggestions, or is there something you would like to try to fulfill this area? All right, I think you guys got it then. All right, so, oh, do I have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you elaborate more on emotional?
Yep, and we are actually going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
So once I get to that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, okay? Hopefully I touch on it. All right.
Thank you.
So, yeah, of course. Thank you. So next, spiritual wellness. So this is religious or not, but this area focuses on finding purpose and meaning in your life. So that might come from family, kids, relationships, even your work. Practices like mindfulness and other strategies we discussed earlier fit into this area. Would anyone like to say what gives you purpose? Or is there a strategy like mindfulness, breathing exercises, or yoga that you'd like to try adding into your day?
More yoga in the morning.
Yes.
Stretch the neck. Yes. Yes.
Yes, I think it's the weather, the beautiful snow we have going on, but I was super stiff this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have to stretch. All right. And next is intellectual wellness. So this is all about keeping your mind active and curious by engaging in creative and stimulating activities that help you learn. So this could be through work, hobbies, trying something new, even being here today supports this area. So so for me, I love gardening and homesteading. So I'm always having to learn something new because of this. And I like to get my kids involved too. So this turns into a fun way for all of us to build intellectual wellness together while also spending time together outside. Does anyone have any suggestions or something that you can incorporate?
I do. I am in a Wordle group that is slightly competitive. So we try to guess the word in 3 or less guesses.
Yes.
Yes.
That's good. And actually, I'll get to it on the next slide, but that also helps with social too. So you're working on your social because you're talking to people, intellectual because you're getting smart, you're getting curious. I love it. All right. So next is environmental wellness. So this is about making your space work for you. So safe, comfortable, supportive, all of your well-being. So tidying up a room, opening windows for fresh air, appreciating nature, and exploring what your town or city has to offer. So using guided imagery to imagine the calm or the space you want, that may help here. Financial wellness is all about taking charge of your money, which helps reduce stress along the way. So there are tons of tools and resources to help with budgeting and minimizing financial burdens. And this library is a great place to start. Social wellness focuses on building and nurturing supportive relationships, whether with family and friends, your local community, or through shared activities with others. So like we were just saying with you, Joanna. So remember, the key word is supportive, though. So relationships should add joy and balance, not stress. So if there's a group or connection that drains you, it might be time to seek out people and spaces that help your wellness wheel thrive. And lastly, emotional wellness is about tuning into your feelings, expressing them in healthy ways, and finding strategies to manage them effectively. So using the mind and body approaches that we talked about earlier can be especially helpful here. So I know you have questions. Do you have any questions after I mention that?
In some instances, you might have to, in social, you might have to change your friends. You might have to drop your friends and get new friends.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. You want to be balanced. You want to feel at peace. So once you kind of take a look at your wellness wheel and how you're living your life, if something is draining you and not benefiting you, let it go.
I know, because I'm experiencing that now, and I don't understand people. Some people, I don't understand it. They approach me, and I don't know, we just aren't a good match.
And which is fine. There's nothing bad about that. I forget the saying, but it's like, there could be some people that enter your life for a day, a year, or a lifetime. And, they might be there to just teach you something for the day. It might even teach you, I'm not feeling this relationship. Let's move on. But it's all about your life. You need to feel happy. You need to feel balanced.
And I know, and I feel, I guess I feel guilty because I just met someone, and I have this internal feeling that they aren't a good person. And so, but then I don't know, I just have a problem with that.
And that's fine. Again, this is your life. You want to feel balanced, right? So if you don't have to, befriend them, they're not family or anything like that, then let it go. Like I said, you learned something from them. It may even be, you might have learned, okay, this isn't a good match for me. That's fine. Don't feel guilty about it, right?
Exactly.
There's something telling you, whether it's subconscious, it is telling you this is not okay. Move on.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you guys ready? It is your turn now. So I want you to grab that piece of paper and a pen, or you could just make a mental note for now and get ready to think about your wellness. So this is supposed to be fun, not stressful. So we're going to start with physical wellness. So if you're already moving your body regularly, awesome, you're ahead of the game. If not, I want you to think about 1 or 2 activities that you could try. So maybe something from today's presentation or something new that you've been curious about. Then you move on to the next component. So keep going until you've touched on all areas of your wellness wheel. You may have noticed that some strategies can do double or triple duty. So for example, yoga is a physical activity, but it can also support spiritual and emotional wellness. If you take a yoga class at a gym, it can even support social wellness. It's all about making life easier and more balanced and more enjoyable, like we're just saying. So be efficient and let one activity support multiple areas. Every once in a while, though, I do want to remind you to come back to this. Look at your notes, take time to reflect on your lifestyle and make those adjustments as needed, especially during big life changes like having a baby, getting married, moving to a new town, any major transition. These are great times to just check in with yourself, make sure your wellness wheel is still balanced. So is there any questions that you guys have? Maybe we can talk about if you have an idea or a suggestion for any of these components that you want to let everybody know, so maybe we can add to our own wellness wheel. Not all at once. All right. So before I continue,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you,
I'm sorry?
can you mention anything about processed foods? Give some examples.
What do you mean by give some examples? Like some good items to consume?
Well, I know processed food is harmful.
Yeah. Yes. To say the
And
least.
I mean, what I've read, that's why we have a lot of medical problems today, because of people are getting diseases earlier and earlier, and the reason is they're eating processed foods. But like, for instance, what exactly is processed food? And I mean, when you go to the supermarket, foods that are in the freezer that are frozen, are those processed foods?
Depending on what you're looking at in the frozen section, yes. So, if you want to get fruits and vegetables, frozen fruits and vegetables, that's fine. That's not necessarily processed because they're just taking it off of the vine, the tree, the plant, and freezing it. And actually, you're going to typically get more nutrients in those because they took them fresh and instantly froze them. If you're talking about anything that somebody had to put together, right? So if it is just frozen bread, that's fine. If it is frozen cinnamon rolls, right? They had to put a bunch of stuff together, add sugar to it, create something for you to consume it. That is considered processed. Frozen pizza, they had to put everything together. And a lot of times, depending on what they are adding to the meal, could be more or less processed. So if you're looking at a TV dinner and there's, some frozen vegetables, that part's fine. But if they had to add gravy or something to the meat, then that's where it becomes processed. Is that what you're referring to, or do you want to elaborate on anything?
What about going to a bakery? Is that processed foods?
Yes.
Okay.
So again, depending on what you're getting. So if it is fresh bread, no, I mean, that's fine. I know advertisement wants to say bread is horrible, but not necessarily. I mean, if you go to eat a meal and you're having, your grain could be the fresh bread. If as long as you have your vegetables, your protein, and that could be meat or not meat, and then your grains with the bread, then that is fine. It's all about moderation. So if you have a grain and you want to use the bread, great. If not, and you want to use rice or sweet potatoes or quinoa or something like that, then you're fine. The processed stuff that we're talking about that makes it bad, things that increase our inflammation, which leads to chronic diseases, is the processed sugar, what I was referring to. So if you're going to get a cookie with a bunch of icing on it, if you're going to get cinnamon rolls with a bunch of brown sugar and white sugar and icing and sprinkles, that's the stuff we want to avoid. And that's why I said minimizing added sugars, because just in life there's so many convenient things, and a lot of us don't make home cooked scratch meals. Trying to get the most natural food we can. So if you're going to buy it in a convenient package, that's when you want to flip it over and look at the nutrition label. And that's why I wanted to teach you guys about the nutrition label. So you're looking at the ingredients, you're looking at the added sugar, because that's the thing that we want to avoid the most.
But see, bread is very high in carbohydrates.
Yes.
And then you also have your simple carbohydrates and your complex simple hydrates. But anyway, to me, in my case, carbohydrates are very bad. So I have to watch that. Especially, it's bad for me because you get so much of it in such in so much variety of food. Carbohydrates are very high.
Yes. No, I could go on an entire conversation on this. So like you're referring to with simple and complex carbohydrates. So simple is what's going to give you that quick fuel. Like I said, for literally us to do anything from standing up from our chair, our body needs that, right? So for us to be able to do that, if we're not bedridden or if we're staying in bed all day, to give you that little push of energy, you need those simple carbohydrates. Complex carbs are going to take a lot longer, and that's what's going to kind of give us more energy to fuel for the day. But also, if we don't have that quick energy because we didn't just eat it, right? That's where the complex carbs come in. So again, in moderation. We still want to consume
Right.
carbs because there are some good nutrients in there, depending on what it is. But just having too much of it, that's when it can turn into fat because now your body hasn't used it up for energy. But carbs is what actually gives us the energy to sustain life, for brain function, for immunity, to see, to give us that energy to actually do things.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I also have something to add. The library has book groups, and this, see if I can share my screen here. The Library of Things is what we call it. And you can check out several different things. And in this case, you can apply it to the physical. You'll go to Browse by Format, Library of Things. Perhaps not today with all the snow outside, but you can check out the outdoor game kits, perhaps even the nature packs and outdoor equipment if you're camping. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with all of you if you were looking for something to do.
Well, I'm actually glad you brought that up, Joanna, because even with intellectual, spiritual, environmental, a lot of this stuff, if you go in and, I mean, there's so many things, the library of things that it provides. So working out all those different wellness components, you can use all of it through this library of things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, quite a bit. Quite a bit to share. All right. Does anybody else have any questions or comments?
Switch over.
Just
All right, and oh, I'm sorry, go for it.
Are you, what college or school you're affiliate with?
Pennsylvania Western University. So
Pennsylvania?
it is actually, I'm sorry?
Pennsylvania Western?
Yes. Yep.
Where's that located?
In California, Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania. I know it's confusing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I'm working on my doctorate. This is actually a part of my portfolio that I'm going to be defending in about a month. And I graduate with my doctorate in August.
And what type of degree? What would your degree be?
Health science. So all through this. So I'm actually prior military. So a lot of my population is with the military, but I realize this information can benefit many people. So I work with families as well, especially ones that, you know, their significant other goes overseas. I help with them. But I also realize this is good for all individuals. So I said, let's go ahead and it's open for anybody. I'm actually developing a website right now because a lot of my research is on chronic pain, which is, with you guys asking so many nutrition questions, this is great because nutrition really fuels chronic pain and the inflammation. So a lot of mine, I teach a lot on that as well.
Very good.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I did want to show you guys these resources real quick. These are local. Stafford Parks and Rec. There's also Fredericksburg because we're close to them. The YMCA Rouser Building. All of these are just great local resources to check out for events. There's events. There's adult classes. There's gyms. There's a lot of different things that can help with a lot of our wellness wheel. My Plate is a national thing. A lot of people have heard about this. It's going to be more based on nutrition. And then local running groups. This is going to help with socialization and the physical aspect of it. And you guys have been asking questions throughout, but do you guys have any last questions?
I think you answered all mine.
All right. Well, if you have any more questions, I have provided my email here. And if you guys would, I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to hover over this QR code, there is a quick after event survey asking a couple questions about my pacing. If there was anything that you guys were interested in, anything that you guys would, you wish you learned about that I could add to another teaching that I do. But thank you. That is all I have for today. So I thank you all for joining me, and I thank the Porter Branch Library for putting this together.
Yes, thank you, Jessica. That was a great presentation. And
Yeah.
everybody, please look for future events on our website, librarypoint.org, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. It was great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.